Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon. A very warm welcome to you all.
Good afternoon, all.
Thank you for joining us today for the session on Future Ready Skills, Navigating the Evolving Job Market. My name is Krishna Vij. I lead the IT staffing business at TeamLease Digital and will be your host for today's session. In a world shaped by rapid technological advancements and dynamic economic landscapes, individuals and businesses must equip themselves with the latest skill to thrive. Moreover, in the new world of work, there is an increased emphasis on skill-based hiring, and businesses are looking out to hire candidates with the desired skill set. The need for a future-ready workforce becomes increasingly apparent. Ability to learn, adapt, and embrace emerging technologies has been paramount for freshers and professionals in recent years. The emergence of newer technologies has further accentuated the demand for staying ahead of the curve by honing expertise in areas such as data science, artificial intelligence, and digital literacy. In today's webinar, we will delve deeper into understanding future-ready skills and its importance in the evolving job market. We will also attempt to explore the emerging trends, key skill sets in demand, and how job seekers or individuals can proactively position themselves for success in this dynamic business environment. Our speakers for this webinar are industry leaders with diverse backgrounds who will share insights on future-ready skills that the industry expects candidates to have. Please note that the thoughts expressed by our esteemed panelists are their own and may not necessarily reflect the official stance of the organizations they represent. We encourage you to ask questions in the Q&A section, and we will try to address most of the queries towards the end of the session. So without further ado, let me introduce our esteemed panelists for today. Let's start with our first panelist, Mr. Sumit Gupta. Sumit is the India South Asia procurement leader for IBM and has a vast experience of more than 16 years to his credit. He has worked with multiple conglomerates like Vedanta PLC and Ashok Leyland. His expertise lies in procurement, reverse auctions, contracts, commercial, vendor development, marketing strategy development, people management, and sales and distribution with organizations of repute. A very warm welcome to you, Sumit.
Thank you, Krishna. Thank you, team.
Next, we have Ms. Sheetal Arora. Sheetal serves as the Vice President of Organization Development at Ceragon Networks, leveraging more than 15 years of progressive experience in delivering comprehensive HR solutions. Her expertise lies in crafting strategies that align with organizations' vision, mission, and goals. In her role, Sheetal is responsible for overseeing the global talent management strategy, ensuring seamless business productivity, and aligning with market and global standards. Additionally, she plays a crucial role in designing learning and development initiatives aimed at addressing skill gaps, fostering a culture of continuous learning and nurturing a talent pool for future growth. Welcome, Sheetal.
Thank you. Thank you, Krishna. And thank you, everyone.
Another panelist joining us today is Mr. Sachin Kavalkar. Sachin is the global CISO and head of cyber at Neamo, a leading global HRO tech organization. With over 20 years of expertise, he is a highly awarded leader in information security, cybersecurity, data governance, quality management, audit, and compliance. Sachin has worked across 15 countries in diverse InfoSec roles, managing IT and cybersecurity, cloud, IT governance, and enterprise architecture for large hyper-growth companies in developed and developing markets. A very warm welcome to you, Sachin.
Thank you so much, Krishna and TeamLease team.
A big thank you to our panelists for taking the time to be with us today. We are looking forward to gaining your insights into the world evolving job market and future skills from your valuable experience today. So Sumit, let's kick off with you. In recent years, fast changes in technology have greatly changed this job market, giving people many new and big chances. This change in technology has created new jobs and changed the old ones. meaning people need different skills and knowledge now. Industries that used to depend a lot of manual work is asking for more automation and requiring more integration with digital tools, which means there's a big increase in the need of people which are more digitally literate and who are experts in utilizing these new areas. We would like to hear your insights on the significant opportunities arising from these technological advancements in the job market in 2023 and how your predictions on how these opportunities will evolve in the near future.
Thanks, Krishna. Thank you for posting this question. I think that's invariably the most common question asked by any kind of a workforce that is there in the market. First thing first, I think people have to understand where the technology is moving ahead into. We are looking forward for an agile, a way faster kind of operational work, whatever the work the team has been doing, trying to create a niche segment of the work which is being done. So I come majorly from the supply chain segment. I'll pick up examples from my own segment in terms of where we used to have workforce who used to support their own organization for any kind of a purchase requirements that the client or customer may come up from. As we move forward, this entire industry is moving into a automotive or AI based solutions where anything that a requester or a department or a business unit may require, there has to be analytical approach where we predict what could be required in the coming future and then proactively take actions or step where the ordering of those requirements can be met. So one, you don't have too much of surplus of goods or material in house. You move towards more of just in time kind of an approach where things are delivered and there is no follow-ups, rigorous checks to be required to be done, and then you follow the entire process in terms of avoiding the monotonous activities which were being done by the team on the ground. So within one stream that I picked up, I'm just telling that the people roles or the roles of the workforce will change based on how they are approaching to the day-to-day activities. If your role is just to do a repetitive work, then trust me, that role may not last for long because we are moving into kind of killing the activities which may be repetitive. What people have to look in, as you rightly said, data oriented. So people want skills or individuals with skill sets who can analyze data, who can give more valuable information out of the data which is available, maybe in a structured format or maybe in an unstructured format. So people have to analyze, create solutions, create derivatives out of the data, and create a structure for future which can be automative or which can be easily driven based on certain trends which have been followed. So that's the demand. That's how the scenarios are getting ahead into with adoption of new technologies. I think Sachin will talk more on the cyber and other threats. The more we are moving towards the faster pace, these kinds of security threats, these are certain things which are going to come up, be it in any division, with more applications, networking, IoT kind of solutions that we are seeing. So the demand will be more on ensuring that whatever data is being worked out in these areas is secure. Do not get into any privacy or any other risk which are associated with the usage of these data, and they can generate a much more valuable stream for any users that we have.
Thanks, Sumit. Thanks a lot, Sumit. And you've also clearly, and I completely agree to the points that you've clearly called out on the mundane task to be replaced or maybe become more automated in the longer run. And we would require more of technological integration towards such roles. And that's how the talent needs to be developed accordingly. But while this question is quite broad and we see that all of you have certain expertise in each of the technologies that you're utilizing in your day-to-day activities. So moving on to you, Sachin, out here, while I will park the same question to you at this moment. And what, according to you, in the space that you operate and the opportunities which are arising from technological advancements in the job market, and what do you think about the predictions on these opportunities? Linking it to, if you could also add some of your thought process to what Sumit has just mentioned here.
Correct. Thank you so much. So, see, now the very first thing we need to understand is every sector, whether it's automotive, financial, pharmaceutical, or rather even IT companies, drastically they are moving towards the automation, and now the digital era is completely changing. The thought processes are completely changing. It is the world, it is a data-driven world where you have a data available. It is just you need to utilize that data and you need to move out. Everything is going to be digitalized. When I say everything is going to be digitalized, everything will be available on your fingertips. It is just like your single touch. You just touch and the way the things you want, you will be available for you. When I say this is what all moving into the digitalization, everything is going to be changed in terms of technology. The very first thing which we need to understand is how to secure that data. So specifically talking about my domain, when we know that technology is moving, complexities are coming up, we know every day, if you just open your newspaper and the media, you will see a lot of cyber issues which are happening across the world. So how you are safeguarding that data? It's not only about the changing the from the old era to the new era, or moving from the legacy system to the new systems. It is also protecting our technology. Now, when you need to protect the technology, you need to understand what are the skill sets required to protect that technology. And definitely, it should not be just a theoretical, but rather it should be more practical, more in-depth and complex understanding about how you will be safeguarding that data. And for which I urge, I can say there will be a huge demand which is coming up in another 5 years into the space of information security or data privacy or cyber security. Just a classic example. Now, almost from the independence, I guess there are a lot of rules, lot of acts which has come up. But why Data Privacy Act came in now? Because every country is now understanding there is a need to protect that sensitive information. Now, when we need to protect that sensitive information, you need a skill set, 360-degree skill set across the domains and the layers to understand how you are protecting that. And to protect that, you need a knowledge. So I request probably that all the new generation, probably the job seekers who are looking for, this will be a good domain for them to understand the in-depth technology, the controls, and how to safeguard that. That is what we call it as a cyber security world, or a data privacy world, along with the technology what you have already learned. So this is going to be a huge market in the coming future.
Thanks, Sachin. Those were some great points. So, Sheetal, we heard from Sachin and Sumit both on data is the oil and technology has to be the enabler. So, moving on to you, my next question to you is in the ever evolving landscape of technology, this year promises to be a pivotal year marked by unprecedented advancements, and companies are talking about transformative innovations. As we stand on the brink of a new era, it is crucial to explore the front of technological evolution and understand the skills that will shape the future workforce. And since you work very closely in terms of upskilling and on the L&D front, as we look ahead, want your perspective and if you could shed light on the key technologies that will take center stage. And additionally, according to you, what specific skills will be in high demand within these evolving technological domains?
Krishna, I think it is very connected to. I'll take the point from what Sumit and Sachin very well said, that while we are moving to the world, or to the era of AI, and everything is evolving around the technical skills and the data presentation, and the cyber securities. I would say that with this technology moving up, the skills are not limited to technical. I think there is a huge scope which needs to be added from the holistic point of view. When Sachin specific said 360-degree. So when we are moving towards this era of 5G or automation and data scientists, there is a lot of demand which comes as a skill to for the people, like what you call it as a the risk management. Okay, because the data also is connected to the risk management. When we are moving towards the AI, I was also exploring. There's a lot of demand in terms of an AI, ethical consultants who need to really see, because you can't be really depending upon the technology. So you need to have a consultant which very much relate to the risk, but it also needs to be ethical consultant to the AI forum. So which also requires a mix of a technical skills and a soft skills. Then the other thing is, with a growing market where this technology is not only going to impact the IT, cloud, and cyber, but everybody is moving in terms of whether you do the navigation, you do the GPS, you have the phone towers, trading system, logistics system. When you're building this entire data-driven organization, you actually need to also see that that this data is being presented in the forum where you can take out some outcome from it, where the soft skills plays an important role, which considered to be a content creator, a storyteller who can present this data to the customer in a way where you will be able to attract with your data. It's not only the AI. Then also a communication, how you communicate this data into a presentation, a skill, I would say, is also attached to it. So there are a lot from from a technical skills, which is a cybersecurity, cloud, data, AI. I'm saying that it moves to the software part of it, which requires to be inbuilt, and our future manpower or the future talent has to be ready with it as a combination of it. you know that's how I see that there's a lot of scope, and this emerging market is not only stick to the technical skills, but there are a lot of demands which will be coming from a software aspect also.
Thanks, Sheetal. I mean, these were some great points, and also highlighting on the aspect of which are along with technical skills, how soft skills also plays a very important role in terms of building those capabilities around these areas. So, in this aspect, I also wanted to put across another question to Sumit as well. While Sachin also spoke about certain industry relevance, but I think we should dwell more into certain specific industries, because some of the industries are already dominating the tech hiring in the coming years. And that's where the need for such tech talent is evolving. And there are certain tech industries which are asking for large volumes of certain emerging skills. So, Sumit, could you share insights on which industries or sector do you think has evolved or has substantial demand for tech skills in the coming years? And also, if you can talk about which are those skills which are going to be in the demand, and which sectors will continuously come across or generate such kind of demands, and we can look at generating that kind of talent in the near future.
See, Krishna, based on how individually I am looking at and how we are seeing the industries, I think as what Sachin and then again Sheetal both have called out, we are moving at a very fast pace in the digitization world. Now, till date, or I would say in the last 5 or 7 years, especially the digitization effect which has come post COVID, you would see the banking transactions, the entire banking industry has moved very swiftly and quickly over the entire digitization of payments. Anything that you talk about, even you can open an account just by sitting at home, digitally verifying, doing all those verifications and KYCs, and then get the accounts done, not even having a visit to the office. So that's one industry that you see. Now, everything comes with security, the risk, all those things, what Sachin already called out. Those are going to be the parameters and important areas where the skill hiring will be required, right? We all talked about app based or a touch screen based kind of a solution derivatives out of one of the particular industry. Now let's talk about the hardcore. We all are seeing the change in I think everyone would have seen Oyo being into a very simple solution that they brought in terms of rented cycles or rented electronic bikes, which can be utilized. Now that has been very basically used for any kind of a delivery system, be it any kind of a food applications, any kind of a deliveries at home. So that is how the evolution is happening. Now, if you talk about, this is just a pure food and beverages industry, but they are also seeing the shift. They are also seeing how the digitization is bringing a change in their own. Previously, the delivery used to take long time. Now you can track from your order to your delivery minute by minute where the product is and how soon it is going to be delivered to you. So that's the impact of digitization overall on a particular industry. You talk about manufacturing or automotive world. Now everything is moving into an automated ADAS is coming into picture. There are going to be a lot of IoT solutions. You can start your vehicle just with a mobile click, sitting on a second or third floor, and then go and sit in your car, which is completely well cooled or temperature monitored. So there are multiple various factors which are coming into the play of each and every industry, to the length and the breadth of what you talked about, the specific hiring or the technological impact. These are the areas where they're going to come in, right? There is something what we always talk about as a core and as a non-core. So when it comes to the tech dependency, it may not be a core stream for any industry to work on those areas. So they may have a dependency on tech organizations. But when it comes to their core, we talked about 3D printing. So now, initially, nut bolt used to be created separately, and then you would have jigs and fixtures coming. Now, with the coming of 3D printing, you have multiple different components being created in a single piece. So the number of component dependencies are also reducing. So these are the small changes that we are seeing, which is really moving the individual industries to a very faster pace towards digitization. The less number of units, less number of equipments, components, more dependencies on semiconductor chips, having on-hand solutions, quick to transform. So these are the in things which we are seeing in every industry. Many states or cities have also adopted to digital or smart metering. You would see many apartments who have centralized gas support. They're also on a smart, calculated, usage based payment. So these are all small changes which are happening in every setup, which is overall impacting the overall, you can say, the environment of each and every individual that we come across.
So I think great points made, Sumit, and I think you've clearly called out that in every aspect of the task that we do, there is technology involved, and technology is again evolving, and a lot of digital transformation is being seen across industries. Now, while we see that AI, cybersecurity, or in terms of how healthcare is getting integrated across artificial intelligence, and at the same time, there are a lot of models or machines which are being integrated, bringing in digital transformation. And there are a lot of sustainability sectors at the same time. Now, I'd also like to hear from Sachin in this aspect, while Sumit, you also spoke about certain case studies and also given us some live examples. Sachin, do you think you'll be able to add some more inputs or insights basis the space that you work around? And what do you think, or probably if you can give certain more examples for our audience to also understand that what kind of transformation which is happening across industries and what kind of talent would be required which is more sustainable and how the hiring will be in the coming years?
Okay, it's a great question, Krishna. Thanks. See, as Sumit has mentioned, you take any industry, they are tech-driven industries now. Whether it's IT, IoT, or any pharma, healthcare, any industry, they are tech-driven industries. You go to any now, tier one hospital, five-star rating hospital, you will see a lot of changes. It's all automated. It is just you need to enter, and then everything will be automated. Probably I have seen some hospitals outside India where probably they will give you the gazette, and you just need to fill and then enter. Automatically all the stuff will come on your the screen, that which room, which floor, which doctor you need to consult, what is your waiting time period, what other stuff you need to. So see, that is all happening across the industry only to make the life more easier, to make sure that the revenues and the growth paths are clearly seen for every industry. Because ultimately when there is a revenue, when there are the growth paths, and you are the trade driven, making the lives easy, probably that will be the future. Now how we are using this to make sure that yes, we are utilizing this component is all on the tech driven or a data driven. You take anything now, AI, ML, or anything you call it out, they are all like a data driven. Now ultimately the people, now as Sumit has mentioned, there will be a two components of it. One will be a core and another will be a tech driven. Core definitely you need. Still you need a mason to build your house. It cannot be built automatically. So it will be there. but the designing and structuring how better it will be in a less time, utilizing best of your resources, ultimately you need to use some softwares, CAD CAM softwares, or maybe some designing softwares, where you need a core skill set. You need a people and expertise to do that. And for that, I definitely see it should not be just a very basic knowledge. Rather, I will say it should be a component and uh, what I can say, addition of all the required skill set to utilize that particular, you know, the work which you are doing. Now, if you say you just need to maybe in a cyber security world, it should not be just like I am a cyber consultant. For that, you definitely need to know the complete 360-degree environment, the controls, the tech driven industry related compliances, standards, without which you won't be able to. So if you need to do that, definitely you need to, burn your fingers. You need to go to the depth. You need definite a core skill set which will help you to survive. I always keep on saying to all the young youth and the people who are coming into the industry that you have a scope in every area, provided you understand that industry. You have that innovation inside you. I typically call it as a Kaizen. When we say Kaizen, it calls out as ideas and innovation. When you have ideas, and because everything is available at your fingertip, you call a data, data is available. You want a technology, it is available. You want a devices, resources, hardware, software, they are available. But how to utilize in a better way for benefiting to the community or to the industry or to the, overall our nation, that is something these people need to understand. And for that, core skill set or understanding about a domain plus additional skill set, as rightly mentioned by Sheetal, definitely required. It should not be only one specific domain that I am a master into that. If you need to drive a Ferrari, definitely you need to understand all the controls about your vehicle, and then only you will be able to win the, your matches. That is what I can say.
I think great points made, Sachin, and also you clearly called out that how core skills are essentially required, even if you want to nurture or venture into a different domain altogether. While the question arises on skill enhancement, and I'd like to park this question for Sheetal. While we understand right now from Sumit and Sachin both that skill enhancement is the key, while core domain skills are essential, and it is one of the most crucial factors for bringing in growth in the professionals, irrespective of their backgrounds. It is because every technology, every sector is evolving. And at the same time, we would also like to understand your perspective that how these individuals can stay proactive in knowing which emerging technologies to identify, and which are these technologies which are likely to shape the job market, and what are the kind of strategies that they need to implement so that they acquire the relevant skills in a timely manner.
Sure. Sure, Krishna. Again, I think it's very important the way we are moving. It's very important for each one of us as a company, irrespective of the business we are in, that we keep our talent, there where we can actually meet the changing environment, because we are consistently changing. Okay, most of the organization with this era of technology. And what I personally believe, which you have already covered, that the first important thing is they have to be proactive. Okay, so you said what proactive approach. So the first basic thing is they have to be proactive in keeping the eye that what's happening in the market, what's the trend. So having the knowledge about the market is very, very much important for all of us, be it we are a fresher, or be it we are already experienced in the market, having 15 plus year of experience. But even if we'll not keep the eye what's happening in the market, we are not ready to meet our future, whatever change is happening in the organization. The other is it's really important to be associated with this kind of forums, what we have today, where you get to know the perspective, you get to hear what's happening in the market, and connect to that. I think most of the companies are also proceeding towards, having a kind of a center, which is kind of, an experience in testing center. So, you take a kind of a pilot approach, running one kind of, whatever the process improvement or whatever, you create a pilots there, see how it is happening. Sometimes you even go up to the customer to seek the feedback, and then, it's a continuous learning that, and especially for the company like who are into the field of associated with the R&D approach. Okay, so it's very much important that, while you're reading what's happening in the market, you're continuously in the trend of experimenting, testing, and doing that pilots. The most important thing is that as an organization, if I will tell you that, it's very much important that we, embrace the culture of a continuous learning. We should have a kind of a policy or a process to reward those people who are, upcoming and ready to learn those skills, or, or investing in their upskillings, not only by the company, but on their own. So I feel it's a demand of an hour to meet your changing environment, whatever it is happening. Otherwise, it's very difficult to achieve what you're trying to achieve. Beat whether you are a technical champion, you have all the skills, that all the SLAs, all the problems, but having a skill. So I'll give you a layman example where I tell my team, even today, a data management person, okay, who's just managing a data, has gone up to the level where, whatever data you are maintaining, why you are maintaining, sometimes you get stuck. What is the problem? If you don't have that skill, where you can actually, if you're stuck somewhere, what is the problem, why I'm stuck, how to present this, this is very much increasing with the demand of being AI into, or a technology driven data in this. So everything is linked. Okay, so that's how I think I feel that, I completely support back to Sachin when, he keeps on talking about this 360-degree approach of a talent. So technicality cannot work alone if I don't have the other skills attached to it, which can be, I can be a tech savvy, but I'm not a problem solver. I'm not I know the data, but I don't have that literacy to present it, to my customer or to my, stakeholders. And the networking skills also, plays an important role when we are talking about, moving up in the ladder for upskilling myself. So that's how I see.
Thanks, Sheetal. I think your answer to this question was quite apt, and I completely agree to the points that you've mentioned. So it's just to sum it up, and also what Sachin and Sumit has also mentioned. In the
Yeah.
dynamic job market currently, what we're evolving, staying
Yeah.
ahead requires a proactive approach. You clearly
Yeah.
called out about continuous learning, and also while you have touched upon a point on being a future focused mindset, which we are expecting individuals to help, which will help them to commit to lifelong learning. And like you've also mentioned about connecting with industry peers, staying updated on tech trends, be strategic in skill acquisition, and also identifying certain versatile and certain skills. There are multiple learning platforms also available where individuals can gain practical experience through hands-on projects. I think these tactics clearly calls out that how individuals can be readily, can be ready for the evolving tech landscape and continuously foster growth and success. So I
Yeah.
think these were some great points, and it's a great insight that we are hearing from all of you today. Now, moving on to Sachin here. Sachin, I'd like to pass on this question because this topic is very close to you. And while we are understanding and talking about technologies and certain initiatives, but we also want to understand from an education institute point of view, because we see that there has to be a lot of collaboration required between academia and industries where students are more employable and skilled. But we are continuously hearing from the market, a lot of industry reports where we see that the skill gap between the technologies, what they are learning, and what the youth is coming out, there is a continuous gap which has been identified. So, what do you think, according to you? How should educational institutes adapt their curriculum to ensure that we have ready made talent available in the market which are more employable, more upskilled, which is demanded by the employers as on today?
Okay. So, probably with my few of the connects with few institutes, educational institutes, what I have seen now, I guess most of the tier one institutes they have understood the need of market. need of what is the job requirement, and which job requirement will definitely help them for the placement of their students. And probably those only institutes will be able to survive. Otherwise we have dozens of engineering colleges, or probably there are a lot of education institutes which are available, but those which are running only for a sake of education, probably that will not go long, that they need to close their shutters very soon. The institutes only will run for a long time, probably who has understood the need of market. Now probably they, and most of these institutes now they have started, they have a buying from their the management as well. They have the independent, probably you call it as R&D centers, they have created lot of good labs in their institutes. Previously it was not. They have a separate corporate communications, you call it as, that sale along with your training and placement officer. Otherwise in the old era, previous only used to have the training and placement officer used to go to the lot of the industries and then companies, and then used to ask, okay, do you have any requirement, can you please place my students, and sort of. But now they will get entertained only when they are able to showcase some differentiators. Probably they can say that, okay, we have the R&D labs along with our the theory subjects what we are coaching to our students. We also have the practical knowledge given to, which comprises of your what is the current technology world, how it is moving, what are the need. Probably it should not be just a need of two-way, it should be a need of another next 5 to 10 years, then only we will be able to survive. Otherwise if we are just running as of today, then probably it will not help. We need to think beyond, and that beyond is something that should be adopted into the education institute. Lot of education institute I have seen now, they have created their R&D centers, the separate lab to for the students to do the R&D research, that I always call it as ideas and innovations. And this young chap, the talent, because of the digital what I can say education, there are a lot of things which are available, and then the what they are reading, what they are learning, they need to implement that. Now, where is a platform for implementation? Without labs, they won't be able to. And if they won't be able to implement, they won't be able to learn the issues and the gaps and the vulnerabilities into the system, which will help to improvise. And probably if they are doing this particular course well ahead of their placement, then the companies are getting the ready-made products. Now, why companies are hiring the people? It is a simple solution is for a problem solving. Now, if the people, if they are hiring, they need a time to groom them for a 6 months or a 1 year, probably it's a waste of complete resource plus cost plus everything. If you are getting a ready-made resource who can directly deploy for a problem which are already there in the system, then it will be a good resource. So I always ask all the education institute, they should have a thinking beyond, thinking different, that what is the current need, what are the problems of the technology, what are the problems of the companies which they are facing, how we can enable those with along with the theory what we are coaching to our students. And probably if we give them the platform to do more R&D, more experiments, more in a sort of idea innovation, implementation, formulation, everything, probably they will, when they are coming up into the actual market, they are well equipped. It's not only about I understand the theory and I can write one paragraph on it. He will be able to demonstrate in practical as well, and that is what the current need is. Another important point, with as Sheetal has already mentioned, these people should get a understanding about what is the current technology world where it is moving on, and learning will only help these people. And probably the webinar which you have hosted today, there are a lot of good webinars which are available where they will get a good insights about what is happening. If you just go to the webinar what is the current state of art today, if you go tomorrow you will see a complete landscape change, because people are working continuously for this technology evolvement or moving it to the next generation. Previously it was AI. Now why there is a gen AI? Because there is something which is improvising, which is growing. Likewise, technology is evolving every day. Every there is something new which is coming. And if we are not updated with that, probably we are working with some old legacy outdated stuff, which probably the companies are not expecting. So three mantras probably you should work as a practical to understand the problem. You should understand what is a problem statement in the market, what is the need of next 5 years which is required for a survival, and probably understanding and learning what is happening today, so that they can adopt, accommodate with the current understanding, and improvise that particular problem statement and come up with a better solution, so that companies, probably the hiring, human resource, the talent people, they will be able to take those resources happily.
Thanks, Sachin. I think your perspective towards this question were great, and you've also given a futuristic aspect in how to deal with this problem as such. But I'd like to pass this question to Sumit as well, but in a different angle. Sumit, while we see that there is so much of skill gap which is being spoken about, while we understand academia is doing their bit and industries and corporates are heavily investing towards addressing the skill gap, keeping the candidates on bench, they're training them, and overall the training expenses are also quite huge. Now, basis your experience and the industry that you belong to, what do you think that industry or academia can do in terms of your collaboration, and how can the skill gap can be mitigated in a shorter run? What exactly are the areas that industries can also focus? While we heard from Sachin as well on certain pointers, but I'd also like you to throw some light on this question from a more elaborate approach.
See, across industries collaboration, Krishna, it's not so easy, and it is not so. It is, I think, Sachin very valid brought a very valid point. It's about knowing your environment, how your environment is changing. So today, if I as an individual see that payments or anything to do with the banking and FSI segment, the changes which are abruptly happening because of the digitization growth that these guys have seen over the last 3 or 4 years is huge. I know that that industry will require further changes the moment we have 5G implemented, right? So that's an now if I expect banking industry to give me an education on that, that's not how cross industries knowledge sharing would happen. We have to first introspect into our own self. Every industry has certain workforce that they are working with, right? Now every industry is going through their own growth progressions in terms of adapting the new technologies and looking forward how they are going to move into that technological driven system. They will have certain workforce which they are going to put them on bench, or they have to keep them aside, and only certain workforce will get qualified as, you can say, the cream of the setup, who are going to be taken moving or moving forward. What I would say, and I will bring it with an example. When computer got in 1990s, the utilization, people were very receptive to adapt to the change, but that change took some time to get adaptive, and it brought a big workforce to maneuver their skill sets, adapt to their technological segment, and then move forward. Maybe you can say 10 years, right? From 1990 to 2000. Then 2000 to 2005, there were again a set of change, 5 or 7 years, where the next technology, the next industrialization took time for people to adapt. Now we are in a stage that maybe in another 2 or 3 years of time, you will see a change of the entire setup that we are using at the current moment. That the speed of change or adaptive, or things which are moving around in an environment, is very fast. So the adaptability of every individual, be it me, be it the team here on the floor, or even the new workforce that we are seeing, they have to be really, really very fast. So the most important thing is learning and the attitude. That's These are the soft skills that Sheetal talked about, which I can emphasize. That's most important in any workforce. The current, the future, or even the past workforce that has been hired. Everyone has to have these two things to be adaptable, and the attitude to learn the new skills which is coming. It can be in any format, maybe using the application, using the kind of a new digitization stream that has been brought in by their own organization. So first is people have to scale up or skill up to adapt to these new things which are coming within their own industry. Then the next stage comes where people can learn or diversify themselves across. So previously we used to talk about the master of one trade. as we are moving ahead, people are looking for workforce who are masters of multiple trades, which is going to be a difficult task. It's not going to be easy. So people should be tech savvy. They should have an understanding of a particular stream. They should deep dive in that. When I remember during my college days, we had a handful languages. Today we have more than 900,000 languages streaming in the tech force itself. The amount of knowledge on a language is huge. People have to know these many stuff. So that is where it is moving. So it is, I don't think any workforce should leave it to their employer alone to be helping them changing their skill set. It has to be a self motivated initiative as well for all employees, that they see where the environment and how the things are changing, and on a simultaneous note keep on enhancing on their skill set. Soft skills are certain things which comes over a period of experience, when you know how you handle problem, how you look into a solution, what approach, or creating a approach towards a problem. But over and above that, what Sachin already called, the live experience is very important, right? Having an R&D within the academia, within the own organizations, allowing your new generation to fail and learn out of that, probing, asking them probing questions. What is it that they see in that particular stream of education that they are learning out, or where do they see the industry? So those are certain things which will hone the right skills in the current workforce, be it from the industry themselves or the employer themselves, versus the employees or the workforce. Them, they also need to keep on enhancing their skill sets as fast as possible to adapt to the new future that we are moving towards.
Yeah, thank you, Sumit. I think you and Sachin both have elaborated and given a very detailed response into the question, because that was something that we really wanted to touch base on across all the points, and also understanding what are the major business challenges that today businesses are facing to find the skilled individuals, and also the gaps, identified gaps full across when it comes to skill. You've also touched upon greatly, as in why the demand for specific skill talents requires that shift in skills with the changing technological landscape. So, Sheetal, I would like to pass on a question to you, because you work very closely into this space, and plus you've been working actively into the HR for a long time. So, what, according to you, what are the biggest challenges you would have faced in finding talent with the right future skills?
See, I think we've already covered that. The biggest challenge, because, being into an HR, being into the networking telecom company, my majority of the experience, I would say that, while one side, we are looking for a technical champions, okay, the technology is evolving every day. Let me tell you, we are today talking about 5G to be implemented fully, but we are already talking about 6G. The discussions are already on. So, which means we have not even adapted, fully the 5G, and we are already on the next move. Okay. So, which means there is a huge skill gap which needs to be covered. Okay. And as I said, which maybe in a different word, Sumit and Sachin is trying to say, the R&D center, and I mentioned it in my earlier discussion, the experience center, okay, which is like you experience test, and then you take it to the next level. So I think the skill set, there is a lot of gap in the skill set, and we need to make them ready, not only by looking in the market, but also having them prepared by our learning platforms available within the company. It is very much required. And I would to take an opportunity, while we've already covered when you're talking about the government and the other initiative. I personally feel and strongly feel that long back when we went to the digitization of the government offices, okay, where everything has gone through the system. Our people who were there were already struggling until date. If you go to the government office, they struggle to to operate even a laptop. Okay, so I think there's a lot of focus from a government and also from the industry perspective required to invest in, intensive efforts required to put some kind of allocation to and the reward programs to upskills these people. So even as a counselor or as a academic teacher or whatever, I also need to upgrade my skills to reach to what's happening in the market as a teacher, right? So as a management trainee, as a management professor or a technical professor, everybody needs to grow. It's not only restricted to me in the company. I think even the freshers has to put extra efforts to learn those skills which we have got it from within experience, what Sumit said, okay, like a soft skills. So I'm saying that the demand has really gone up. There's a huge skill gap, and it cannot be met until and unless we as an industry, we as a government, or every institute take a step to put some program by having an experience center or an R&D center and upskill them with that skill which is desired. And for that, while you talk about a skill for being more adaptive, I would say, or a learning programs in place. I just add the word continuously, which I keep on telling my people in the company, is it has to be continuous. So you don't have a space of, I have learned these skills and I'm over. We are emerging as a market every second, every day, and every, next day you will see that there is nothing which has, there's something else which has come up. So I think the continuous learning and the continuous adaptive is the one word which has to be, there to meet the skill gaps which are there in the market.
Great point, Sheetal. I think you mentioned it very clearly. To develop the holistic skill set for the future job landscape, individuals should engage in continuous learning and seek experiences and prioritize communication across. While I'm still wanting to hear more on the soft skills part of it, because we've heard a lot of expertise, information, and insights from all of you on the technical part of it. Sachin, what do you think? What role do soft skills play in complementing technical expertise? Do you think individuals need to develop a well-rounded skill set for the future job landscape, considering the kind of talent, expertise that we have in the market as of now? And do you think all such roles require to be well-rounded? If you can throw some light on this question.
Great question, Krishna. See, now when we go to any competition, there are two sort of awards. One is a participation and another is a trophy. If you want a trophy, definitely you need to grow more harder and more bigger. So when we say that you need to grow more, then definitely soft skills will definitely play a important role. Ultimately, what talent you have, you should be able to demonstrate. Now, it's not only about writing a program and it is a best program, you should be able to explain or brief that program as well. Now, as I mentioned that this technology is a data driven. You are playing with the data, you are using that data, you are utilizing the data. But if you are not able to demonstrate or publish that data in a proper, what I can say, easily understandable way, there is no use of what work which you have done. So definitely the soft skills play a very important role. I guess there are the list of soft skills probably you need to, the presentation skills, your, communication skills, probably the what area you are working, you should be able to demonstrate it properly to the audience. The third will be understanding a problem, because a lot of the time we see that there is a little gap between what is a problem means you go into the mechanic instead of he understanding it's a some maybe a major engine problem. He is just repairing some wirings. That will not help. So understanding about a problem, definitely it is important. So you should have that understanding skill about why that person has came to you to solve their problem. So that problem solving skill set and understanding of problem is definitely required. And probably what work you are doing, you should be able to demonstrate it to the well, so that it is understood to the audience and the person who has came to you for the help or support required. If you are able to, then probably you are contributing to the organization and community. Otherwise it will be a complete silos work what you are doing, and sometime it will not lead to a success.
Thank you, Sachin. These were some great insights. We have reached at a very interesting part of the webinar where we would like to take up questions from our participants. I see that a lot of questions are flowing in, and I'd like to pick up a few because I also see that some of the questions have already been answered by our panelists. Sumit, I'd like to park this question for you. This is quite an interesting question linking it to AI. As automation and AI continue to advance, how can employees or workers position themselves to leverage these technologies rather than be replaced by them? Yes.
See, I'll again pick up a simple example from my own industry, supply chain. Our first, and then I'm picking up my own example here, nothing to talk about any industry. I leave it to the industry experts to comment on that. But from supply chain, the first and basic skill that we require is understanding a contract, how it has been done by a buyer and a supplier. And then the second important skill is doing a negotiation. When you go on the table with your sales counterparts on the other side, you understand what they are selling, what you're going to purchase, and how you're going to purchase. Now, both these skill sets, if you go 15, 20 years back versus today, these skills would not have changed much. But what additional value that AI or technology has brought is, previously, whatever contracting language which were given, maybe a supply chain person may not be a legal expert who can analyze. But today you have a immediate helping desk where AI would immediately tell you, okay, this boss has an impact on your liability. This is an indemnification concern that may be required. You may have a penalty issue. So that is a aid which you get as a support system. Second, what data has done, when you're getting into a negotiation, you get more and more information about who are there on the other side of a table, what are the strengths that they have. Do you have alternatives? Can you go some with some other process or a way to find a better solution for your own organization? So there are certain, as what I talked about initially, there are certain core skills or core requirements versus non-core requirements. Core requirements will still remain. AI, digitization, automation, they are going to kill the monotonous activities that anyone is doing on their day-to-day activity, right? So first and foremost, that if I have to look as an individual, what is it that I can give more value to the work that I'm doing? If I'm doing just repetitive jobs, I'm not required here. Any robot can come and sit and do my work. So I need to create value in what day-to-day activities that have been assigned to me. What kind of more reviews, assessments, which even maybe Google or data-based applications or any kind of an assessment may not be able to provide, which I'm able to provide. Only then I'm relevant. Only then I'm going to be staying in on my job and be able to prosper for future. That's the feedback that I can give it to the team.
Thanks, Sumit. I think you've mentioned very clearly and categorically that how AI is a disruptive technology and how one has to be quite updated with respect to the latest technologies. But we also see that a lot of fresher job aspirants are also there in today's webinar. And I'd like to pass this question to you, Sheetal, predominantly because we see that still there are a lot of job aspirants who want to build a tech-related career for this first time. So what advice would you like to give it to them in terms of if they want to transition into an industry like this? What should they do, or the must to have, or what kind of skills they should at least look at acquiring from an advice point of view?
I would say my personal experience is that irrespective that, there are tech savvy and, technical champions, I think the softer skills is something which they need to build in from the start, which is which is very basic one. So while they're entering into an industry, they have to be a good communicator in terms of not only the communication skills but also being able to communicate their expertise, okay, and being able to give their strengths and weaknesses, that how it can actually help an organization when they're hiring a talent like them, and communication skill plays a very important role there. they have to they have to be fully data, they have to be good in data literacy. Not only when I'm talking about a data literacy, meaning so the technical champion, where they've been able to build, for example, a lot of programs, software and whatever, but they can also bring the data into how to read it. The presentation skill plays an important role. So this is a skill when we are recruiting a future talent or freshers in our company. I think because when you see their technical skills, it sees what they are explaining, and it will be visible more when they will start working with us. But the recruitment, okay, when we hire people, more happens on their presentability, their communication skills, their thoughts on their whatever happening, the market knowledge is very important, that how much they're connected with the market trends, how much they know. So these softer aspects is something which is very much important when the freshers are being hired. So this is what I would just say here.
Thanks, Shital. Thanks for so much of guidance to the job aspirants out there who are listening to this webinar and also trying to understand what is the need of the market at this moment. So before we wrap up, Sachin, I'd like to invite you to share any concluding statements or reflection from today's insightful discussion on the ever-evolving landscape of skills and opportunities. Would like to hear your closing thoughts here.
Thank you so much, Krishna, for giving me that honor. uh, See, I guess this is a great session. Thank you so much, first of all, to you and the team leads for arranging such a beautiful and insightful session, which probably will give the perspective of what is happening today from the industry leaders. Definitely, when we are working in the industry for 15, 20 years, we have a lot of good, rich experience and the real time problems probably that will help for the upcoming generation to understand to and to well equip themselves to make them more better prepared for the challenges and opportunities. uh, I guess as a concluding statement, we need to abrupt with what is the current world which is revolving or moving around, understanding about the need of a market, understanding about a technology, constantly keep evolving and upgrading yourself into the areas where you really want to grow. Definitely, yes, you cannot be a master of everything, but yes, you need to understand at least the associated components in the area where you really want to grow. And definitely, there are a lot of good areas and opportunities which are coming up unless you have a good talent in you, because definitely there will be a uh, since the companies are going for automation, lot of the manpower reduction because of the new technology or automations in across the industry. Even if you take any automobile industry or automotive industry, previously used to work 100 people, now it's all robotic processes. So definitely, so if you want to survive into that, how you are well equipped to make yourself presentable. And yes, as we have seen, it's not only about only technology, but a 360-degree upliftment of yourself into all the areas: soft skills, communications, your technology specific, and eagerness and understanding about the problem statement, that what is the current problem, work upon that problem, understand a problem, get a knowledge about that problem, and definitely try to solve that problem. So rather you should be a contributor to the company and the society. Then only you will be having a very clear good success path wherever you go, wherever you join. And last but not least, yes, education institute, definitely they should incorporate all the good programs in the industry mentorship program, R&D labs, establishment of their good or what can say implementation of good tool softwares inside their institutes, so that people and the students can learn and they can contribute to. That will help a company and the human resource teams to get a good talent, and definitely there will be a good growth. I will not say that there is what I can say slack, or there are no jobs. Jobs are definitely available unless you are best fit for that job, and the best fit will only come when that will reflect from what you are talking, and what you are talking will only come when you have a knowledge, and to get that knowledge you need to constantly learn.
Thank you, Sachin, for those great inputs. So, on behalf of Team Leads Digital, I would like to thank our esteemed panelists, Sumit, Sheetal, and Sachin, for taking out your time and sharing your valuable insights today. So, today's discussions have underscored the critical importance of staying adaptable, continuous learning, and fostering the culture of innovation. I'd like to thank our audience for your active participation and engaging discussions and questions. So stay tuned for further insightful discussions and webinars as we explore the ever-evolving landscape of skills and opportunities. I wish you all a very great day ahead. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you and good day, everyone.
Thank you and good day, everyone.
Thank you and have a nice day.